Hi, guys. I am going to take a look at the phenomena going on with these craft that are not drones. Um, I just want to see what we get. I want to see if we're going to find out what they actually are. So I'm using my deck that you can get like a yes or no from, and you can find them just by Googling. It has keywords. All right. Are the American people and the world going to find out? Are we going to be told honestly what these and who these are behind pestering us with this craft flying over that's noisy and disruptive, going places it shouldn't be, that are by law illegal, near airports and military bases and people's homes? Some fly very high, as you know, some are lower. But there's a lot that are seen flying in, very near other planes and craft that we know what they are. But this has been like a mixture of different craft. So some kind of also different, I think, some different means of keeping them, they're clearly, for some reason, they're being allowed through, and I want to know why as well. I'm going to try. So let's just see, are the American people going to truly find out, and the world too, um, who is behind it and why? Is that coming? Are we going to get the honesty that we all deserve? I'm using, again, the kind of what is this? Oh, learning tarot cards. Oh, no, no. It's goes by the name of Witchy Cauldron. But anyway, it's a pretty cool deck. It's got a lot to it. I get maybe. Hmm. I get one maybe. I do get the Wheel of Fortune, which is interesting. This is indicating cyclic, something comes around, goes around, destiny. It's cycles of fate. I tend to think maybe it is fate that we will know. And I do get a yes with recognition. So it might be that initially we'll be told, we think, by authorities that it's so and so or whatever. And then I think this could indicate then there will be clarity on recognition of who it is. All right. That's with the yes card. I get another maybe, and I get the Fool and foolishness. This is taking risks. Oh, and impulsiveness, poor judgment. Carelessness. And I do get people being held to account with judgment. So I get a yes also on that card. That's interesting. 2 maybes and 2 yeses. Yeah, that's wild. And the judgment is judgments, apportioning blame, final reckoning, a final examination, as you sow shall you reap, a mandatory choice that will change life for the better, or your life for the better, because you're being held to account. The daily choices I make now align me with my life's purpose. That's what you want to do. And this is some adventure or new beginning. But this has been going on for months and actually years. It's just kicked up into this situation here more recently that it's being seen elsewhere. So I get that we will, in all likelihood. And I do get that those that took this risk will be held to account. There's decision ahead, and I do believe with them looking out, holding the globe, that it could be connected to outside of America or have sympathies at the very least. I got this before, I think, when I read on it in the that rings a bell in the live. And I get a sun card. Yes. Clarity, illumination, connected with, I believe, looking at probably more than one group, but somebody specifically, I believe, in all likelihood, outside. I think somebody's going to figure it out that's observing. Maybe they'll send a drone up themselves to, or some kind of craft themselves and snap a picture and, get away. You're not to shoot them down or anything like that because you don't know if there's some kind of heavy payload they could be carrying, especially these larger ones. It doesn't even have to be that big. It can drop chemicals. It could drop, God knows. Trouble, let's just put it that way, or even just be explosive or something. You just don't know. Better to play the hand of self-regulation of the strength card and live to tell another day. So we get it being illuminated to us who's behind this. And I believe that they are looking outside of our nation and probably UK and Germany and various states in America now that I'm aware of that have been seeing them. I still think, in all likelihood, that at least 2 that are involved would be China and Russia's approval. I mean, Russia doesn't have anything much to give. China has more of that. Maybe North Korea or maybe some Iran, something like that. Whoever it is, I get that it's a well-funded operation. So it is some it's a well-funded operation. There's people that are involved in it can have access to a good deal of money. And maybe that's why you're seeing different looking uh, craft that people aren't really sure that they're necessarily drones, but there's some means that is capable of flying like somewhat like one. Um, so I am getting the vehicle. To me, this is the drone. This is also progress moving forward with this. Could also be travel, because a lot of people said, well, small drones flying all the way over from other countries, that's just really long distances is really not likely. A lot of people don't see where they're uh, originating from or where they end up going. Some people think water, or there could be people out there on a boat launch in these, or I don't know, some of these big ones somehow. I'm not sure, off the coasts. Um, Still, I would love to know more about that how they're able to do that. They might just have, like I said, sympathizers that are here that are able to do this from American soil or American waters. Okay, right. And what is paired with it, hmm, is a decision. And to me, this is like a decision where you come to a crossroads, and maybe you don't, again, want to make the decision, or there's confusion about what would be the best choice, or uncertainty. And so you're kind of at a standstill. And I think that certainly explains somewhat of why they haven't come forward and said what it is to us and explained it. Uh, but these vehicles, I think they will, if they don't really know what they are, they will pretty soon. I think that they will have an opportunity of some kind. And with that sun, there's an illumination, um, and a connection that would place maybe the components outside of America. Um, that's my feeling with that Two of Wands and that sun. And then the next two cards, the Chariot, that the progression with this, and overcoming obstacles, success, determination, hard work, and focus. But then a stalemate, wanting, there's tension, there's an avoidance, and conflict, duality. The people are mentally conflicted about what the way to proceed. I think our authority is still trying to work that out clearly, but they have to make a decision, because as I see, from off-camera readings, that it's going to increase and going to get, in some places, just out of pocket, even more out of pocket than it is now. Um, I'm getting holding on and possessions, deep-seated. It could be past issues, hoarding, control, possessiveness, stability, saving for big purchases. Da, 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 da. Anyway, this is someone that's really wanting to hold on, have control. And here we have, for me, my card of surveillance, and it has the card of curiosity, where information, significant information, logic, fairness, ideas, planning, vigilance. There's some of the watchfulness. Um, Protection. I think this is us wanting protection. Um, Also, someone that wants to watch us, Yeah, and they're very calculating, and they're unconcerned about the feelings of others. So, whomever this is, that I believe is connected to, at least, at the very least, sympathizing with perhaps overseas people, not people, but nations, maybe to some degree. We have leadership, a king of wands, so a male of a fire sign. That is significant. Uh, impulsive. They can be impulsive. Um, they like being in charge. Uh, let's see, adventurous. They like to initiate many projects. They can be very inventive and like attention, type of a male fire sign. Make of that what you will. And we have leadership. We have restriction, though, and feeling trapped or cornered. Then there's anxiousness, a sense of powerlessness. Perhaps this is like, I don't know, um, an elective or electives saying you've got to do something about this. People feel trapped, or this is creating a problem, and somebody needs imprisonment is actually also here. So I think there is someone that either could be put in prison here with the King of Wands card, or it could be someone that is looking to put the person in prison. That could be somebody significant to it one way or another. This person's highly skilled, and very patient. It also is a card that can advise patience. There's a hard work going on with this Eight of Pentacles. It's another yes card. Um, concentration, hard work, commitment, dedication, ambition. And it's paired with moving on, having to walk away, let go, reaching limit, self-discovery, looking for the truth. So, to me, these two cards still show that there's people going to be working very hard to find out what and who it is. I do think that at the end of the day, they will, in all likelihood. But I think this is going to go on for a little bit. And then we get the Hanged Man. Again, there's a sense of limitation, constriction, feeling trapped, waiting. It's also a card of sacrifice at times, seeing another perspective, but there's haste. So that's weird. We go from suspension. It also could be somebody, even though we've been told not to, somebody could lose their patience and do something they shouldn't, like take one down, uh, not being ordered to, not being part of a military or whatever. And it's illegal to do that, apparently, because you don't know what that could bring on. So it's just, honestly, has nothing to do with anyone's being a tough person or not. This is arrival, departure, assertive, direct. Could also be that they could kind of delay for a while coming back and then really come back. That's a possibility, because it's just that there's such a shift from this pattern of suspension to then activity, and really quick. Could also be incoming news about it. And it could be that this has been looked at from another perspective. And here we go. Someone trying to get away with things. Okay. It can be connected to deceit, enemy, masquerading as friend, deception, strategy, secrecy, hidden agenda, adaptability, self-interest, risk-taking, all those things I was telling you before, unconventional approach, and connected to theft. It's somebody that you might think would be friendly, enemy masquerading as a friend. And there's like big changes with that Knight of Swords. Big, and it says big changes, opportunities, seize the moment, jump in, direct, honest, quick wit, assertive, discreet. But it also, on the negative side, can be like where you disregard the boundaries on purpose of others, the safety with the airspace and all of that. Now, with this attempt to get away with it, we get the Page of Pentacles, and it could be a new job. Who's ever doing this might just be a lackey in all likelihood, for the people that can fund it. And it can also be that they're going to be able to maybe catch someone trying to get away with it, catch them red-handed with their equipment or whatnot, or get some eyes on them, maybe like where they're coming from and going, which has people have not been able to figure out, apparently. But I feel like this right here could be evidence, or like, oh, a beginning of unraveling the deceit here. And we do get the card of the World. This issue will come to completion. We will know their success, achievement, accomplishment, travel, and wholeness, the end, reaching your goal, expanded horizons, and also denotes physical and emotional health. All that's well ends well. What I've been working for is already done. Well, I think it wraps up, and I get the Queen of Pentacles, the card of its abundance, creativity, and wealth again are being given a nod. A wealthy, I keep getting like a wealthy nation, or a nation that has money. That makes me think of Saudi. I know I shouldn't. But people that stem from that, kind of Bin Laden feeling, maybe, but not necessarily. It's just too many to guess. Now, but I keep getting the abundance and wealth and a business aspect that this person has, or the people involved earn money connected through business. At least, some of them involved certain business things. So they're going to find out, I think, who's funded, where the money's come from for them. And we see that help, yes, that's going to be found out to do this. The power, authority, control, investors, exchange, and there's going to be a burden. It's going to be very stressful to do. We get weight on shoulders, duty, saddled, restricted, burnout, uphill struggle, taken for granted, taking on too much. They've been well-funded operation indeed. And then I get the card of the Queen of Swords, which is perceptiveness, keen insight, fair judgment, right decisions. And when this is about analytical energy. So that is connected to another yes of new beginnings, physically starting something, creative spark. And then we see interesting. This is interesting. Here we have this card of decline of independent wealth and hardship connected to independent wealth. So someone helping Pootler out and financing him, some of his allies. It could be, and they could have operatives that come here and do it, or people that are sympathetic. I guess we'll just see. Craziness. All right. So now just looking for, can we get a timing on when at least we in America are going to know? When is that going to come out? I'm trying to be as specific as I can, but when is this going to be made clear as of the present time? When is that going to be made clear? And I'm going to put 3 cards, but all for ahead of time. And see if, like, the very near future, and this is where you have to get a little bit flexible, and it not the very near future, but maybe just a bit further or a lot longer. Let's just see if we can kind of narrow it down, maybe. So when are we going to be told, and I'm asking for honestly, and be given the truth or know the truth, discover the truth, some means, and share it publicly and be talking about it? When is that going to happen, come out, be released? I get a yes. Okay, and I'm getting the card of independent wealth. Okay, that's for the near future. So this would be, to me, a good sign. Maybe independent business people that specialize in that kind of craft and things like that can give us insight, because there's also wisdom attributed with this. But independent wealth, maybe that's also, again, for sure, a key to who's ever able to fund this. And foresight, that is a little in the near future, that is looking further. It's also possibly looking across, again, out beyond our own horizon, so elsewhere outside of America. And foresight means they're still waiting for something to manifest, waiting for an opportunity. So they know that it's somebody that has a good deal of money. I think they've already said, obviously they'd have to have a good deal of money to be able to do this. And the cards that I got confirmed and said, well funded operation. Buttercup, the woundback, just agreed. But I do feel that it is not going to be real quick. I would love it if it were, but that feeling, I don't think so. Because this has been going on for months and even years in some places. But not, like I said earlier, but not the way it has as of late, where it's just in so many places and dangerously. Hmm. Will we get the moving on and anew? Abandonment, abandoning plans, walking away, reaching limit. Oh, self-analysis, self-discovery, looking deeper, withdrawal, disappointment. All right. I feel like with the Justice card, I'll have to pull some more with that. But the Eight of Cups, walking away, somebody that's trying to walk away from being held to account, from being held to justice, for sure. They're trying to avoid this. I do not believe at all that this is other beings. I think these are human based shenanigans. It's just sometimes I can get a hit of cards if I look at them longer. So than when I'm trying to read on a video. When I'm reading off camera, I can just sit there and look at them and then take my time. But when you're recording, you don't have as much. There's intuition here with the Page of Cups. And this can be a sensitive, thoughtful, quiet. We get partnership with the Lovers and choices. Major choices, too. There's connections also represented here. So I think that it's definitely, I do often get a card of collaboration of probably three entities, if you will. I feel like three nations, uh, leaders, because I do get leadership in other readings I did. And I get here too defeat with the Five of Swords, conflict and betrayal, and against traditional value, conformity, marriage, commitment, religion, social hierarchy, conservatism, guidance. Hmm. Someone counseled, maybe by another, in it feels like revenge. It does, with this Five of Swords. Um, with the Lovers, I don't know. Like before, I've gotten an aspect of, is there somebody that's doing this that has a relationship that's failing? I don't know why. Or could it just be the partnership um, amongst the core group responsible is going to fail or sour? I could believe that. And kind of like, if you will, have a falling out, a divorce or whatever. It's all about control, holding on to people, again, past issues, stinginess, hoarding, possessive, holding on. And again, another card that deals with somebody that needs to self-regulate better, because we get the strength card here. Very stubborn energy and very I'm going to get in your face, I'm going to go right up, I'm going to disregard your laws for safety. And what are you going to do? Because you can't really do a whole lot. You don't know what I've got on here, or I don't. I can mess with you and get your people all upset and create a nuisance. I do get security here with the King of Pentacles, somebody that's connected to it, high status, enterprising, somebody preoccupied with financial matters. That'd be all of them. We get a King of Cups. So there's two men right here. I don't know that this is necessarily Biden, or if these are people that are involved. I really think there are maybe those that are involved more in this pestilence of air phenomena. It could be Biden also talking, definitely, and I know that that's already happening, talking to people that are involved in that kind of security, high risk security, about those things, because I did catch a little bit of an article about that. So maybe that's what that's about too. There's the wish come true card with the Nine of Cups. There's satisfaction, rewards, there's esteem, as self-esteem or triumph, fulfillment of the curiosity. So I do see them figuring it out. Significant information, they'll get it. So, could also be the smugness, the energy of the surveillance of these guys. Smug, like, what are you going to do about it? That really comes more through. And we got the Gemini. Here's the thing. Putin is an air sign, Libra. So he'd be a King of Swords. So is Xi. He's got, I believe, an air sign. So, oh, but this is Gemini. I don't know. Is he a Gemini? Not a Gemini. Never mind. Talking out my rear end right now. I was off on another thought, thinking about anyway. Significant information, logic, vigilance. They keep it up. Here we are finally where maybe we're going to hold somebody to account with judgment, awakening, decisiveness, maybe finally making that decision where we were at a crossroads in the earlier with your other deck. Final reckoning, sowing what you reap, recognition. Okay. So these two answer it for me, but the best. Yes, again. It's going to be, I think, a little further than we'd like into the future. But I think we're going to start to get some significant information pretty soon. And I do think that they will figure it out, and in recognition, and they will share that. You see the angel blowing the horn. There's recognition of who did this. This is accelerated activity, people talking, activity, people's responding to things. Let's just see what it's connected to. It's action as a result to hold people account. And we do have, again, the card of the star, the spotlight, recognition. And the star is another card I was getting, and I was thinking, that night, the light, these even look like kind of them, and it's happening mostly at night, from what I understand. So this to me looks like because of the accelerated amount of them, I get vibrancy here with the Queen of Wands. I get a Queen of Cups. I wonder if these are different nations being represented. Not sure. So we get vibrancy, nurturing. We get the crossroads, indecision, a stalemate, and new beginnings, a new start, a new initiative. The women could be people that are part of the team in deciding how to respond to it, how to hold them to account, how to begin that. Because this is oppressive, or it's become oppressive, and it's not kindly intended. At the same time, you don't want to overreact, but it's out of hand. It's causing chaos, and among families and homes and people that got to go to work and people's way of life and sense of stability and security. And children feel like there's this big ugly shadow coming over in some cases. So they're going to figure out who it is. There's a card of the past returning to one's roots, and I think they will be found. I get the Eight of Swords, and it's feeling trapped, feeling stuck. It also says feeling powerless and imprisonment again. And the words paralyzed by fear, terror. So I don't know, maybe they had family in the past, a connection to that kind of behavior. I'm not sure. But whatever the case may be, they've also may have done time. I'm not really sure about that in the past. Or had family that did. But I believe that this means that they are going to bring them probably into custody with that. Yeah, and they're going to find out about the money, the abundance with the who's financed this, causing all this worry and anxiety, sleeplessness for people that are just trying to work. Also, I think people are working to bring those that are responsible to justice and putting in just day in, day out effort here. There's an anxiousness to find out. And we do get the Tower, so there is something unexpected. Now, this is something I was worried about, and I'll tell you why now in a minute. Page of Pentacles. Okay. New job. I think also a project. I'm worried that something could strike a high rise or a building with what they're doing. It may not, have been the intended consequences, but, the more that they are where they shouldn't be, they could strike something that's tall. And there could be a problem. On the other hand, it could also just mean that we are going to get maybe give them a surprise. I don't know. But there's unexpected, sudden disruption. And I believe that there is disaster, collapse of an old way of life, shattering false beliefs, but it's unexpected change, upheaval, chaos, fast moving, haste, sorrow, pain, and also betrayal, disorder, distraction to create conflict and loss. Again, there's this up and down, and it's really dramatic, and there's juggling. And it says ongoing battle. So I think they're going to know who's doing it, but we're going to continue to have this going on much longer than we should, even once maybe we figured out who it is, and trying to figure out how to go about stopping them may be an issue. Well, they better get on it. Let me just see what else we get. We get death, an ending. Yes, an ending and completion. So we'll get this to stop, or this will end up stopping. But it's quite possible, and I hope that this is not the case, that there could be a problem potentially where someone could get hurt, maybe even a loss of life. Hopefully not. Hopefully this is just bringing it to an ending, period. But look how many. It took a long time to get there. And it looks like there's a resilience among those that are doing it to keep up with it. All right. I get it. Leadership here and conflict. So again, a leader that's in conflict in the midst of, I think, a war, or who's created disruption. Gee, who could that be? Only the one that I know of all the way around the world and his friends. Trying to deceive, go in at night, blur the lines. What are they? Are they ours? Are they theirs? What are these things? Confusion and distress. And this is yet to play out. There's also, again, use your intuition with these things being focused on here. Even though we may not be being given all the information, because here there's a darkness, there's a hidden element agenda, and I think it will come out later, maybe with an offer here. I can't just stop there. And there's a great amount of energy, I feel like, around a meeting or a discussion about this, about the action to take, offer, do. There's grieving. There's, again, this could be actual loss of life, with the 5 and the Knight of Cups. Disappointment, loss, um, grieving. Okay. And we do have the Hangman, failing, trapped, confined, lack of certainty, lack of direction, needing release. Maybe if it is connected to the Kremlin, maybe it's because he's feeling like a trapped rat. We get a card of transition with the 6 of Swords, and it's over water. That's just another thing I wanted to note. Traveling. I think they've gone on passage. New horizons. What came with that? Clarity with the sword. So yeah, and we're going to find out. And I do think we'll be able to respond. It's going to take a while. I don't think it's going to happen nearly as quickly as we would like. I think we'll find out through communications, but it's going to take some time to unfold that. But there will be clarity. And I think something about the water and using it as a passageway. There's breakthroughs here too with the Ace of Swords. So hold on and wait. Isn't that fun? Eventually we will know. I'm not real clear yet, and because that's not been completely, I think, determined on what response will be taken, how they will choose to do that, because these those controlling these things are responsible. You know, so I think it's overseas based, and in all likelihood probably has help from somebody already here that came here, or this has been going on a while again too, because places have said that they've been having it go on, for like years, some places, and people were saying that they were crazy. That's too bad. Anyway, I do see justice involved, but I think it's going to take time, of course. All right, so if you appreciate readings like this, please give me a thumbs up. I will try again once we get a bit more time under our belt with these things, and see if some of those high priestess kind of things that haven't come together quite yet and are still very fluid or manifested, maybe we'll get a little bit more. But for right now, I do again think it's connected again to a very well-funded operation. And I think definitely has connections in all likelihood to maybe China, you know, and places of wealth. I know that is not Vlad, but Vlad knows of people. Everyone has more money than him now, pretty much, almost. God knows what he's hidden somewhere else. Anyway, if you appreciate readings like this, please give me a thumbs up. I'm going to take a break and rest for the rest of the evening, maybe tomorrow too. I'm not sure, unless something comes up and I have that burning desire to get on here and record a reading. Anyway, let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Take care and don't panic. That never helps. And like they say, if you do see one, don't touch it, don't go near it. If you happen to have a great camera, hopefully you'll get a picture. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.